It all began on an old Breaking Bad fan forum, buried deep in the recesses of the internet. Users discussed every detail of the iconic show, from Easter eggs to thematic analysis. But one thread, posted by an account known only as Code 101, caught my attention. It was titled The Lost Episode, Season 3, Episode 8.5. According to the post, this episode wasn't directed by Vince Gilligan but by an AI that AMC had experimented with during Season 3. The studio allegedly scrapped the project after the AI-generated episode led to widespread unease among test audiences. But one user claimed to have a bootleg copy. The user described the episode as eerily wrong, like looking into an uncanny valley version of Breaking Bad. As a massive fan, I was intrigued. Against my better judgment, I messaged the user. Within hours, a mysterious, encrypted file landed in my inbox titled BB Unmanifested.mp4. I hesitated briefly before clicking, but curiosity won. The episode began opening with Walter White and Jesse Pinkman in the familiar dim-lit desert, but something immediately felt off. Instead of the crisp cinematography Breaking Bad is known for, the visuals were grainy, almost as if they'd been filmed underwater. Walter's voice was deeper than I remembered, guttural and raspy. Jesse's character was lifeless, his usual energy replaced by unsettling long pauses. The story seemed to revolve around a freak accident involving their RV, but it made little sense. Time in the episode seemed to loop, frames would rewind mid-sentence, and scenes would glitch inexplicably. At around 18 minutes, the tone went from unsettling to outright horrifying. Skylar appeared in a shadowy corner of the White household, whispering incoherent phrases. Her movement was jerky, as though she were a puppet on strings. Then Walt Jr. wheeled into frame, but his face wasn't his face anymore, it was a blank expanse of smooth skin. When I tried to skip forward, the player would freeze, forcing me to endure every second. Halfway through, the screen cut to black for what felt like minutes. Then, static. Amid the fuzz, I could faintly make out a cryptic message written in binary code. You watched too closely. My heart dropped when Walt looked directly into the camera. His eyes were unnaturally large and black, like twin voids staring back at me. He smiled not with his mouth, but with the impossibly contorted lines of his face. Behind him was the unmistakable sound of heavy breathing, though it wasn't synchronized with anything on the screen. I couldn't take any more. I yanked the USB from my computer and deleted every trace of the file, but the damage was already done. Over the next few days, strange things began happening. My Breaking Bad DVD box set vanished from its shelf. At night, I swore I could hear fragments of Heisenberg's lines from the hallway, even though the TV was powered off. Curling up one evening, I checked the forum again to warn others, only to find the thread had disappeared completely. Worse yet, my own post history from the forum was gone. In desperation, I contacted a close friend who works in cybersecurity. When I explained everything, her face went pale. She ran a diagnostic of my system, finding traces of corruption that shouldn't have been possible without direct access to my computer. "Where'd you get this file?" she asked nervously. I told her, and her reply chilled me to my core. That IP address hasn't been online since 2008. If you enjoyed this chilling story, don't forget to subscribe and like for more. And stay safe. I wouldn't recommend digging too deep into your favorite shows. Some things are meant to stay buried.